Hey, how's it going, guys? Little build update here with the healer build for Necromancer. I ended up changing over from my Phoenix Moth build. Um, yeah, let's jump into it, shall we? So, as you can see here, we ended up switching around a couple of gear sets from the old Phoenix Moth and Spell Power Cure with the Symphony of Blades. Don't get me wrong, that build's very strong. It would do what it needs to do. It was fun to play. I just wanted to try it a little bit different. I just want to state now, you can run this build on every class in this game. Every class in the game, any power, doesn't matter. You can run this build. This build is just based around gear, and the gear carries itself. Okay? So let's go ahead and jump in. As you can see, I got 64 in the mag. We are a Khajiit. It doesn't matter what class or race you are. You could be any race as well. Just bear in mind that you're still going to go fucking 64 in the mag here. Regardless to your race, regardless to your class. I just built this on a Necro because I've been enjoying the Necro healer. That's just what I've been enjoying. So yeah, I just built it on my Necro. In terms of our monster set, we are taking the blind. So with this monster set, we're getting critical chance, and then when I heal critical strikes, right? So if I heal the target with a critical heal, this is what this says. I'll dumb it down for people. So if I heal people with a critical heal tick, I will grant these people a Hydroglass damage shield that absorbs up to 3,325 damage for 6 seconds. While the damage shield holds, and for 3 seconds after it ends, the target gains minor force, increasing their critical damage done by 10%. This effect can occur once every 6 seconds. Okay, well this is up 100% of the time. That's how that works. Okay, so that's very, very strong. And obviously with the Phoenix Moth, you get the same buff. You get minor force, but then you also get minor courage. So what I actually ended up doing is we now drop minor courage, but then I gain something way more valuable than having the minor courage from the Phoenix Moth. So our next set is a 5-piece set. It's from the same dungeon as the blind monster set, which is Bedlam Vale. You can find both sets in there. This set is called the BLINDPATHS Induction. Okay, what this does is it gives us max magicka, 4% healing done, right? More max magicka, increase the strength of our damage shields by 13% to you and targets within 15 meters of you, increasing your healing done by 13% to targets more than 15 meters away from you. Okay, so if someone's further away from me, it doesn't matter, because my shield's going to help them, and my healing done to them is just going to be stronger, right? So yeah, stupidly strong. Like really strong. I'm gonna tell you why. So we're getting 4% from the 3 item piece. That's 4% healing done. Do we have any here? No, we don't have any there. Okay, so we got 4% healing done plus 13%. Okay, that's 14, 15, 67. That's 17%. Okay, we get another 11% from the ritual, which I will just show, just for argument's sake. 11% healing done, right? So that's a 28% healing done. Okay, and then did we get any there? We don't get any there. So we're getting 28% healing done, right? And then I'm getting a furthermore 10%, right, for my single target heals and my healing over time heals, right? So we're getting 28, we're getting 38, regardless to whatever I'm healing with. We're getting 38% healing done. That is humongous. is absolutely huge. Yeah, super strong. I like it. Our next set, our next 5-piece set, we only put this on our backup bar, as you only need to just switch just to proc it. Your healing ticks kind of proc it anyway. You just need to just switch bar. When you switch bar to apply certain buffs, it should just tick, and it should activate anyway. You can keep this up 100% of the time, and that is Spell Power Cure. Spell Power Cure gives us max magicka, weapon and spell damage, and then when we overheal ourselves or an ally, we give that target Major Courage for 5 seconds, which increases their damage, weapon and spell damage by 430. So this is up 100% of the time, because you know, if you're healing and you're being a proper healer, you always bounce it between both your bars anyway. It's like a rotation. It's no different to like being a DPS or being a tank. You're always going to be switching bars, because that's just how rotation works. You know, it's a rotation. So yeah, that's just that. And then I have the Asylum Restoration Staff. That is a flex spot. You can run the Master Restoration. I wonder if I have one. Yeah, I do. So you can run the Master Restoration here. What that will do is whenever you do your Lustrous healing, you're going to restore Magicka and Stamina every 2 seconds. I personally, it really all depends what I'm doing. I just personally feel like the Asylum is probably just a little bit better, just for the fact that whenever I use my Combat Prayer, which is my main ability, this is my main burst heal, okay, Combat Prayer. So whenever I use that, I'm reducing the cost of all my other abilities by 21% for the next 3 seconds. So every time I use Combat Prayer, my next big ability, so like here, look, so we'll look at this, right? So like if I do Combat Prayer and use either Illustrious or I use Renewing underneath, that's gonna get a 21% reduced cost reduction, right? Because of the reducedness. So if I don't know if it will show it. We're gonna have a look, see if it shows it. So yeah, now look, 2500, right? Rather than 31. And that will be 2500 rather than 31. So yeah, it brings the cost down. So it's very, very handy. I definitely like rocking that, you know, because it's definitely a big reduced cost, and it's just super nice to run. So I would personally stick with the Asylum. That's just my personal preference. That's just where I'm at. I actually need to go in my bank real quick, because I noticed that my green tree is a bit janky here. Let's just take 10k out real quick so I can do this real fast. So I noticed that my green trees all whack out of alignment, and I forgot to save it here. So it's all saved now. So yeah. So yeah, that's what we're running. In terms of my skills on my restoration bar, we do have renewing underneath. What this does is it does a couple of things for us. It's a huge AoE heal. It's nice healing over time. It's a nice floor mat for people to stand in and be within. Also on top of that, if we do consume a corpse, it automatically immediately removes up to 3 negative effects on whoever is in this circle. So it's super, super strong for that. Plus that will also then proc our Salve of Renewal, which is a furthermore 6,400 health, right? Which is just insane. Obviously Combat Prayer, main burst heal. This is our burst heal. You know, this also gives minor resolve, which is nice. Then we got Radiate and Regeneration. This is just healing over time. It's just nice to add it in to the rotation. Lustrous Healing. Once again, another floor mat, very strong. You know, I can just shove this on the tank if the tank's like needing to be a little bit further away, or an off tank or something, and it's going to help them a lot. You know, it very much help them. Intensive Mender. The reason why I take this one is for the fact that whenever it heals whoever it's healing, whether it be me or someone else with the lowest health, it also heals two allies near that person. Okay, so it's very, very, very strong. So technically, in a 4-man group, if we're stacked to a degree, it's gonna heal all 4 of us. Like, that's how that works. It's kind of bonkers when you think about it. But yeah, and then we take renewed animation. This is a res. It will resurrect up to 3 allies. It's just nice to have. Is it needed? Not typically. You could run barrier if you want to run barrier. I just prefer running the res just in case I need to res the group, and it's just easier just to hit that. Like, I ran Lep Secula couple, like a week or so ago now, with some other content creators, and you know, and a couple of people died as it was their first time. You know, I used the Necro res a couple of times, you know, just to get them back up. You know, so it's very handy in situations. It just is what it is. Necrotic Orb. This is a bread and butter buff. I keep the one what does damage. You can take the one what does healing. I just think the one what does damage is probably a little bit better. It supplements the group. It helps with the damage towards the group. And plus, if the group activate the synergy, they're going to do a lot of damage because they're activating off of their scale rather than our scale. You know, and it's just going to do a ton of magic damage to nearby enemies. It's just super nice. That also being said, they're still getting their magicka and stamina back, regardless to whether if it's healing or doing damage. So I just take the damage one. It's just better. Elemental Blockade. What this does is, you know, it does a couple of things. It puts a projectile shield on us and our allies. So if any projectiles are trying to hit us, they're just going to get absorbed by this little projectile mitigation shield. Plus, we're adding minor breach to all the enemies and snaring them by 30%. So that's super nice too. Sanguine's Altar. I take this one over Overflowing Altar. The reason why is I think the extra duration that is up just outweighs the burst synergy heal from the other one. So, and this one's a lot cheaper as well. So I just think this one's just slightly better. They both add minor lifesteal. So yeah, I just think this one's just probably a little bit better. Unnerving Boneyard. This is another bread and butter for our build here on the Necro. What this does is it adds minor breach and minor vulnerability. So what that means is I'm reducing the spell damage of the enemy by 5.9k, right? And then with this one, because this is also doing minor breach, and this is a major breach, they're stacking. Okay, so we're actually taking the resistances, the spell and physical resistance of bosses and enemies down by probably around about 8k, rather than the 5.9 here. So just shy of 8k. It's probably like 7.8 or something like that. You know. So that's that. So that's nice. And then obviously I have Skeletal Arcanist. This is 100% a flex swap. Do I need this? No, not really. I run it because I enjoy running it, and it almost makes the healer build feel more like a kind of like this pet necromancer healer, right? Do you know what I mean? It makes it feel better, in my opinion, and my playstyle and how I play. I just enjoy playing with it. It's nice. Do you need it? Like I say, no, you don't. Technically, I could drop this and we could actually build into the blind path here. If I really wanted to, we could take like Bone Shield. Yeah, if I take If I take Bone Shield here, everyone can activate that synergy then, and they'll all get that extra shield. So if we look here, we read what one's better. What one is better? Ba-ba-ba-bum. Turns 100% direct damage absorbed back at the enemy. Gain damage shield that absorbs up to 10k. An ally near can activate Spiral Surge, granting up to 6 allies damage shield that absorbs up to 38% of the max health. Allies, yeah, so they're both getting 38. But what's this doing? This is just healing received. So yeah, you would take Bone Surge. I would take Bone Surge rather than Spike Bone Shield. Spike Bone Shield's nice if you want to do a little bit of redirect damage. But yeah, I'll take the other one because it gives you Major Vitality, which increases your healing received. And Damage Shield Strength, once again, by 12%. So yeah, I would take Bone Surge. But yeah, an ally can activate that synergy and proc that. You could rock that in. Like I say, that is a flex spot, that last skill. I don't know what you could really run. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff you could run. You could have flesh resistance. You could have, you know, mortal coil. You know, if you wanted to take empowering grasp or something like that to buff up your ghost, you could do that. You know, you could take bitter harvest, well, necrotic potency, should I say, to get the ultimate back. Like, there's so much you could put in that flex spot. I just choose to run my bad boy here because he is just a bad boy. I like him. He's just handy, and you know, if you're healing and you're doing all your heals and stuff, you're minding your own business, healing, doing your rotation, right? He dies, and then you need another corpse to put in another place. You know, he's dropped his corpse so you can put another one down. It's just super handy. It's just having two pets, I just find way more handier than having the one, you know. Can you sustain off of the one? Sure, 100% you can. But that's pretty much it. And then obviously our last ultimate is Pestilent Colossus. What that does is it adds major vulnerability to the enemies. So they take 10% damage done. So they're taking 15% damage done. We're also getting 5% damage done. So that's 20% damage they're taking. Right? And then we're also applying Minor Breach and Major Breach, which reduces their resistances by near enough 8k, right? Which is just insane. And then with the sets, what we're getting is we're getting 38% healing done across the board. So yeah, super strong, super nice. And then obviously Green Tree. Well, let's just cover the trees here again. So like, yeah, we got the healing done, so that ties into that 38%. We got Salve Renewal, which is going to tie into the cleanse. Or it actually procs off of Cleanse and Revival too. And then we have Rejuvenation for the red tree for a little bit of recovery. I got Survival Instincts for the reduced 25% cost. We got Bastion, which is 15% effectiveness of damage shields and damage done. This just only applies to me though. Sadly, it doesn't apply to the group, so you guys are only getting that 13%, unless, like I say, if you swap out for Bone Surge, then that will get increased from 13 to 13 plus 12, that's 25. So that will go up to 25%. Which isn't bad. It's not a bad change. I wouldn't mind running that, to be honest. But I'm gonna stick with my Skelly because I like my Skelly Arcanist. He's my friend. All right, you know. So that's where I'm at. And then Celerity, 10% movement speed, just super nice to have. We also got Steve's Blessing, so when we're not in combat, we get that 20%. So that'll take it to 30%. It's just nice to have. And then Sustained by Shadows, like I say, reduced cost of sneaking. If we need to sneak, getting that reduced cost. You know, and then we got Angler's Instinct and Master Gatherer. As they've literally destroyed the green tree and made everything a passive, which is barbaric. I don't understand why they made everything a passive, but hey, it is what it is. It's Elder Scrolls Online, you know, and that's just the way it goes, man. That's the way the cookie crumbles. But have a good one. I hope you guys enjoy this build. Like I say, you can run this on any class, any race. It will work. I promise you that. So, have a good one. Take care. All the best. Bye-bye.